so I guess that's all.
Yeah.
You can tell the rest.
Well, we
lived at the Franklin for about 7 months.
yeah. And then this little house came up for sale, and we bought this little house, and
For $1,200.
it was $1,600. And we lived there for 5 years, and Louise Louise and Marianne were both born while we lived in that house. They were born at the Grayville Hospital. And then we finally sold that place, and we moved to this house out on Grayville Heights. It used to be Jake Mayer's house. We lived there a year because that house belonged to my oldest brother and his wife. And we lived there a year till our log house was done. And Louise was about 4, and Marianne was about 2 when we moved into the log house. And then we lived there 20 years. We moved into our new house out there in 1945, and we lived there till 1965. But then Ruby's, now you can tell them about your family. You have a brother.
Well, I don't have a big family and not a very historical family like Dad does, but I have one brother, Maynard, and he has a home at Leaf Lake out of Henning, about 7 miles, and he's married but doesn't have any children. And now I'll tell you a little bit about my grandparents, which isn't a lot that I know about. But my grandmother and grandfather on my mother's side they came from Norway. I don't know what year, but Grandpa came here first and got established, or he didn't come here, but he came to Henning, and yes, Henning, and had a little farm out on the edge of town. Then he sent for his wife, and they had one child then, and her name was Anna. And they came over on the boat, and he met them, I suppose, in New York, where the boat landed, and brought them to his home there out of a little place out of Henning. And he was a cabinet maker, and he did carpenter work, but he did real fancy cabinet making too. And they had several children. They had Clara and Nels and Mady, that was my mother, and Lena was the youngest. And I was born August 5th, 1917. And my grandma was such, I never knew my grandfather. He died before I was born, but my grandmother was a sweet old lady. And my Aunt Lena and Nels lived with them. Neither one of them were married. And they stayed at the farm and took care of Grandma and the place. And they always had a couple of cows and some chickens, and they had the biggest cats I ever saw. They were as big as a dog, but they were nice cats. And let's see.
What's your maiden name?
My maiden name was Nelson. No, it wasn't Ellison.
That's okay.
That's all right. I can afford to make mistakes, I guess.
Ruby Ellison.
It's been
And
50 years.
my name was Ruby Ellison.
She forgot.
Yes, I
50
forgot
years.
what my name was. And my Aunt Lena used to, well, they didn't have a car, and it was just a mile from town. And Lena used to come to our place and visit, for the day and get what groceries she needed. And a lot of times I'd walk home with her, especially on Friday night or Saturday night, and stay the weekend. And a lot of times we'd come home late in the evening. And I know one Saturday night, it was cold, and I was bundled up till I couldn't hardly breathe. But there was a car coming, and Lena says, I believe that car's going to get us. So we made a run for the fence and dove under the fence until the car went by, and then we came out again and walked home. And oh, they used to do a lot of fun things for me, and I used to like to go there. And my, that's just about all I.
What kind of things did you do?
That your dad's,
Oh, I used to feed the chickens and go out with a willow and brush the flies off the cow while Aunt Lena milked her. She'd milk her out in the barnyard any place because it was a gentle old cow. And Uncle Nels used to make me whistles out of the willows.
He used to make us whistles when we were
Did he? And, oh, I don't know, I used to lay in bed with my grandma. I'd sleep with her. And she would make funny pictures on the wall with her hands, you know, this kind of,
with the shadows.
yeah, the shadows, and I get a kick out of that. And she talked Norwegian, and I talked English, and I understood her perfectly, but I couldn't talk Norwegian. So it must have sounded kind of funny to other people because we talked back and forth in different languages, but we all knew what we were saying. And I tried to get her to say aluminum, and she couldn't. And she just mixed that all up. And linoleum, and she just had a fit doing that too, but we had a lot of fun. And of course they didn't have electricity out there. We just had the lamps with the wicks that we'd turn up and down, you know. And Aunt Lena used to play the guitar and sing, and of course I'd sing with her. And the grandma used to sit in the chair and want me to comb her hair. She had gray hair. She wasn't very old, but she looked old. She wore long skirts with petticoats, and she was just a little tiny lady, but she was sure sweet. And let's see, what else? My grandpa and grandma on my dad's side, I didn't know them either, because they were, they died while I was, well, I never saw my grandma that I knew of. But my dad's dad was a tailor. He came from Norway too. And he did beautiful sewing. And my dad hadn't trapped muskrats for a long time, and finally had them all tanned and put together. And Grandpa made him a coat with the muskrat lining. And Dad wore that coat as long as I can remember. It was such a warm coat. And Henning, Minnesota, gets pretty cold in the wintertime. So
Dad
he
can
was
verify that one.
awful glad to have that coat. My dad had a general store. And
How
I
did
used to
Grandma and
help him.
Grandpa meet?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I really don't know.
Now, did he have the store
But
when
Grandma
they
was
first
a
got
school
married?
teacher, huh?
Did they have the store when they first got married?
He worked in the store, and after they got married, he bought it from the fellow that owned it.
and your mother taught school all
Mother-
around Henning.
Mother taught school. And she, of course, they didn't have to go through all they do now, but Mother was a smart lady. And she went to a country school, and they didn't have high school. Out of the 8th grade, she was the smartest one in the class. And she went to what they called normal. That was a teacher school for 6 weeks. And she got her certificate for teaching. So she taught country schools all around there.
Boy, was she a cook.
Yes, she could cook.
Mm.
That's where I learned to make all my Norwegian dishes. Fadiman and rosettes, lefse, spritz, spritz and krumkake.
Yeah. And crew.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes,
Don't
potato
forget
dumplings, crew.
Potato dumplings.
We like that too.
Oh, boy.
Well then, let's see.
You could tell when your father died. And when your mother
Dad died in 1959, and Mother died in mother died in '84. In July. I think that's the story of my life. You and I
Sounds good.
had 2 girls.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Louise,
When they were born too.
Louise was born in November 1940,
November 2nd.
and Marianne was born in,
Grable.
yeah, Marianne was born in, when was she?
June 29th.
1943,
June.
June 29th, 1943.
And Grandma came both times.
And my mother came to be with us both times.
That's about
Okay.
the only, they came one other time, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yes,
Dad and
Grandma
Mother
and
came.
They came
That's when
together.
they brought that great big crocheted rug
Right.
that Mother made and took it on the train with them. They couldn't hardly carry it. It was so heavy.
And they
Oh.
had it in front of the
We
fireplace.
had
But
that
can you
in front
imagine
of the fireplace for
crocheting on
years.
that?
And my dad said, how does anybody make a living in this country? There's nothing.
He said
Compared
that-
to Minnesota,
He
you
said
know,
that to the
there's
conductor.
there's nothing here.
They weren't impressed with
Not
my
a bit, not a bit. And after Dad had been to the park or in the mountains a little while, he said, I'm not getting out of the car. It made him dizzy to look down, you know. Okay, now you have quite a tale to tell, so I'll keep still.
Well, I don't know exactly how to start, except that I was just going to tell you about Grandpa Horner, my mother's father. His name was John Gottlieb Borner, and he was born in Saxony, Germany in 1835. And he always wanted to come to the United States, and he said that he would go out to the Black Forest in Germany and lay under those trees and imagine that he was in the Bighorn Mountains.
Had he ever been there?
No.
Oh, he just had
He
read
just-
about him or
well,
something?
just what he'd read about it. And he came to this country as a young man. I don't know exactly, it was through a church deal that he came to the United States, sort of like the exchange students do now, something on that order. And then he landed in New York and was there a little while, and then he went to Wisconsin. And he worked there a little while, and then there was a wagon train moving west, and he got in on that, and he landed in Lander, Wyoming. And they had quite a time coming over the plains, and they had to do their own cooking, and it was pretty rough going. And we still have the 2 Dutch ovens that they used to cook in when they was out on their way here, you know. And but anyhow, he came to Lander, and then he was out. There's a little town called Miner's Delight. It isn't there now, but it was a little mining town in Wyoming. And so he was on his horse. It was in the wintertime, and the horse threw him and broke his leg. Well, it wasn't very good. It wasn't a very good situation. And so this gal came along who is Calamity Jane, and she set his leg, and she had a place there, and she took him to her place, and she took care of him until he was able to walk. And they got to know each other pretty good, and she said she had a sister that lived in Salt Lake City, and she'd like to have him meet her. And so that next spring, Lena came to Lander to see her sister, and there was a little drugstore in Lander, and Lena worked there. And Grandpa got to know her. She was 15 and he was 29. And they were married the next year. And they owned a ranch out of Lander, and they called it Borner Gardens. And Grandpa used to raise vegetables and all kinds of stuff, and he sold it to the army. That's how he made his money. And and they had seven children. May was the oldest, and then there was Tobe, and Teresa, Hannah, Frank, and my mother Bertha, and Billy was the youngest. And the reason the grandpa came to Grapeville was the fact that while one of these trips that he was taking vegetables and all kinds of stuff over to this army deal, my grandmother was out feeding a calf. It was on a rope, and the calf got to running around, and it got around her legs and tripped her, and she fell and broke her hip. And of course, in those days, the doctors didn't know too much about that sort of thing, and they took care of her, but she got an abscess in her hip, and it killed her. And and they never had any pictures of Grandma. So Grandpa hired a photographer to come out to the farm, and she was laid out on this bed on the front porch, and he had pictures taken of her, and that's the only pictures that we have of her. She was a real nice looking lady, and real tall, and she was strong. And so Grandpa decided to sell out and come to Wyoming, or to come to Graybolt. And so he had two hired men, and they came the year before, and they built this 3-room log cabin that was in the city park in Graybolt. And the one room was for the school teacher, and the other 2 rooms they lived in. Of course, he hired his own school teacher. And at that time, Uncle Bill was 3. He was the youngest, and Aunt May was 12. And he left Lander with 100 head of cattle, and quite a few horses, 3 wagons loaded with stuff, and he also brought lumber enough along to build a house when he got to Graybill. But they never got here with it because they broke the wheels on the wagons and this and that. But he got here with the cattle and part of the mules and the horses. And so they got here early in May, and there was 6 inches of snow in Graybill. And and of course the only supplies they had was Grandpa would go to Billings with a team and wagon twice a year to get supplies. And Grandpa had built a rock cellar that is right across from the city park now. And it was a pretty big cellar. He rocked it up, and he always kept a fresh barrel of water in there and food, because when he went to Billings, he told the kids to stay in the cellar because there was a lot of Indians. And Mother said they would stay in there till he got out of sight, and then they'd get out. But he always thought they were in there, you know. And but they got along pretty good. And when
He'd be
Grandpa,
gone for 6 weeks at a time.
he'd be
wouldn't he?
gone about 6 weeks to make this trip, you know. And then they had to go twice a year, you know, to get stuff, you know. And so, I'll see, where am I? I'm just, but anyhow, Grandpa would go up there and get these supplies and come home. And Mother said when the ice went out in the spring, if Grandpa wasn't there, a lot of the people that lived in Burlington and Otto would, they would come down, and they would show them where to ford the Big Horn River, where the shallow places were. And they were just little kids. They'd get on their horses, and these other people would wait till they got in there to show where the ford was, so they'd have to swim the river. But she said when the ice went out in the spring, when Grandpa wasn't there, why they would get on the chunk of ice, and then they'd ride it down the Big Horn River and jump off. And then they'd run back up and get on another. She says Grandpa never knew they did that. They just had a fit. But anyhow, they did that, and they used to break horses and stuff like that, you know, for recreation. And so, and see,
Were the Indians friendly, or?
oh, Grandpa always got along good with Indians. But you know, when he'd go to Bridger, or when he'd go to Billings, he'd have to stop in Bridger, and there would be all kinds of scalps on the fence post drying. Blondes, brunettes, black hair, and all beautiful long hair. And my Aunt Ann had beautiful blonde hair, and Grandpa was always afraid that they might try to scalp Hannah to get her hair. But he got along good with the Indians, and he also got along good with the Mormons. You see, Grandpa never did remarry after Grandma died, and the Mormons always thought that maybe he would take one of their, or two or three of their ladies and join the church, you know, and raise a big family. But he never did. He always told them that maybe he would, and he kept them
Diplomatic.
yeah. And so, and then when Grandpa came to Grayville, after he took up the homestead of, which is now Grayville, it's 160 acres. He took that up for, and he farmed it there. And then he took up all the ranches from the tin barn place clear up to his own place. There was 5, which are 5 ranches now, and he owned them all. And he gave each one of his boys a ranch. And by this way and that way, they would either sell it or lose it or whatever. But Grandpa, had a good head on him. And he was the way he learned. You see, he spoke German, and the only way that he learned the English language was from the German Bible to the English Bible, and that's the way he learned the language. He learned it himself. And he started the Masonic Lodge in Basin, and he would walk from his place up on the Grayville River. He'd walk clear to Basin every time they had a lodge meeting and back, and that was about 10 miles. And there's a lot of long lectures in the Masonic Lodge order. Some of them are an hour and a half long, and he knew every lecture by heart. And he was...
Did you know him, Dad?
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
sure did.
Oh, I mean, he was...
He went blind, and Dad used to
Yeah.
lead him around.
He had a little... he sold his place in Grayville to the Lincoln Land Company for $6,000, which was quite a bit of money then. But they gave him 2 lots in Grayville, and he built a little house there. And he was just 2 blocks from us. And he used to come up and stay with us for 2 or 3 days. And he was almost blind. And I'd lead him home, you know, because he couldn't see very good. I don't know why I get so emotional, but...
Well, it brings back good memories that, you know, you don't think about it.
Yeah, and he used to give us kids $1.
That was a lot of money then.
That was, and Mother would always tell him, no, don't do that. Don't give your money away like that. But he would, you know, yeah. So, and then, I don't know, I always get emotional when I talk about him. And then, well, Mother said, this story is kind of disjointed because, but Mother said when they came in these covered wagons to Grayville, she said Grandpa bought them several jugs of syrup and boxes of crackers, and she said that's what they ate on the way, and she said we were sure a sticky mess.
Syrup.
So,
Well, you used to play on the living room floor on a bare rug, didn't you?
oh yeah, he had in this. They just had bare rugs on the floor, you know, and they always had gold then, you know, for coins, and he always had a stack of gold, and he would at night he'd get down on the floor with the kids, and they'd play with the money, and he'd wrestle around with them. He was a good dad.
Oh boy. Now,
And,
you just said that about the hotcakes. When did...
Oh, and then one time this was later, there was an old family. They were a real old family in the country then, and their names was Rogers. And the old man Rogers and Grandpa was, they were going someplace up in the mountains, and they'd stopped to cook breakfast. And old man Rogers was making hotcakes, and they spotted this Indian up on the high knoll, and he was watching them. So he came down to their camp, and old man Rogers was making hotcakes, and they told the Indian he could eat with them. Well, he sat down there, and he was eating the hotcakes faster than old man Rogers could make them. I mean, just they didn't get anything, and finally old man Rogers picked up the skillet and hit the Indian and told him to get lost. He said they weren't getting anything to eat at all. So, so, let's see. And Grandpa was a member of the GAR, the Grand Army of the Republic, and they used to meet in base, and we have some pictures of all those old guys. And he had this, I don't know, on his hat, he always had this GAR on the band of his hat, and there was about 10 of them or so like that left, and they used to meet every year in Basin, and they had quite a celebration. We have a lot of pictures of them too, and that was about it. And then Mother met my dad in well, she was working in a hotel in Basin, and Dad came to this country when he was about 17, and he met Mother, and then they were married, and the first winter they lived in that cabin that's down.
Oh, in the park?
Yeah, and my dad was he was a good violin player, and so all the money they had the first year mostly was what he made playing, and they used to play for dances, and my oldest brother Harley was born, and Mother would take him, wrap him all up, and they'd take him, and Dad would play all night for the dance. He and some other guy, I don't know who the other guy was, and they'd play till 5 o'clock in the morning, and then they'd have breakfast, and then they'd come home. And he said one time, this Mrs. Rogers, she was a great big lady, and Dad laid his violin down in the chair, and she didn't sit and sat on it. And boy, Dad had to put that back together. And he said that was really quite a job putting that back together. And then, and Dad was an oil well driller, and he drilled wells all over the country, and made a good living for us. Mother worked, they both worked hard. They used to live on the island place across from Grayville, and we had Dad went to Seattle one fall with Howard Unzuber, and when he came back, he brought us a monkey in a cage. And so Dad built we had our own gas well over there, so Dad built a big monkey cage, a summer one and a winter one, and there was a trap door that the monkey could go back and forth. And that monkey was really quite an entertainer. And Dad built this big cage with rings in all corners, and the monkey would jump in on the other. And then we always had lots of company. And we'd freeze that 2-gallon ice cream freezer full of ice cream every Sunday. And Mother had lots of family, and Dad had lots of family, so we had lots of relatives, that come to spend Sunday. And this monkey, we'd give this monkey the ice cream to eat. And the monkey just loved ice cream, but he'd eat it so fast that he'd hold his stomach. It just hurt him so bad. And Dad always made home beer, So after it was ready to drink, Dad would give the monkey a bottle of beer, and the monkey get drunk and he'd fall off of these rings, And then we used to hollow out a turnip. We'd get a little turnip, and we'd hollow that out and fill it full of pepper, and then put the lid back on, and that monkey would bite into this turnip. And boy, would he chatter just like he was cussing us.
He probably was.
Oh, we had a lot of fun with that monkey, though. And then they used to turn school out, different grades, different days. And the way we got to school, if it was nice weather, Mother would row us in a boat across the Bighorn River over towards on the other side, and then we'd go to school, and then she'd meet us at night. She'd row across and get us and take us back. And she was just a little woman. Mother was small, but she was a good rower. And so when they'd turn out one of these schools, one of these grades, Mother would have to haul all these kids over and back on the boat, And then when it got in, then lots of times in the winter, well, of course I was just 6 years old, so I only went to school about 6 months before we moved to town. but the kids would always walk over the hill if it was high water or something like that. When the river froze over, why then they'd walk across the ice. And I remember when we got our first piano. I think I was 4, and Dad got a new piano, and they brought it over on the ice. And I just learned to play the piano one key at a time.
Yeah, and you took lessons with Verna.
Oh yeah, I took lessons. I took a lot of lessons, but I still like to play by ear, you know. And
Teacher Fanny found out you was playing.
Verna and I took lessons from Pat Harrison, the same teacher, and so he'd assign my lesson, and then he'd assign Verna her lesson, and we took lessons in the Bighorn Theater. They had a little grand piano down in the old silent movie days, you know, and Pat Harrison used to play for the shows, and then that's where he gave lessons. He was a terrific piano player. So he would assign our lessons to us, and Verna would play my lesson, what I did, and I watched what she did, and so I could play it. And so after several weeks, why, he told me, he said, when I was taking my lesson, he said, now you start right there. And I said, well, I'll just start over. No, he said, I want you to start right there. And I said, I don't know right where that is. He said, that's what I thought you were doing. So then I had to buckle down and learn notes, you know. But I still like to play beer, you know. And then...
Now there were 5 of you.
And there was 5 of us kids. Harley was the oldest. And then there was Ken, and Guy, and Verna, and myself. And I was born August 1st, 1912. That's the license plate I have in my car, so everybody knows how old I am. I can't get by with nothing. And then, well, when Ruby and I got married, that was kind of funny. This Father Morgan that was with us, in April, I met him through the post office. He wanted to rent a box one day when I was working at the post office. So I took him out in the lobby to show him how to open the box. And he said to me, he said, are you going to take me to the show, or am I going to take you? And I said, hell, I don't know. Well, he said, you come down to the house tonight. Well, I just had a new Buick. And so I went down that night, and we went to the show, and after the show we went to his house, and he had all his flock really keep him in good liquor. And I wasn't used to drinking. But anyhow, we had quite a few drinks. And when I went to get up to go home, I was drunk. And he said, Bill, you better not go home tonight. And I said, oh yeah, I gotta go home, because I was the youngest one in the family, and I was the only one left, and I was staying with Mother. And I said, no, I gotta go home. Well, anyhow, I went home. I got home all right. And the next morning, he was at the post office right quick to see. But anyhow, that spring, he said, where are you going on vacation? I said, I'm going to Minnesota to see this girl. Well, he said, I'm going to go with you. Well, of course, you know, I wasn't Catholic, and I was young, and I said, well, you're not going to wear this rigmarole, are you, that you got on? And he said, oh no, when we get to Casper, he says, I'll just get some regular clothes. And he did. He met us in Casper. He met me in Casper, and we went, and we'd stop and have a beer every now and then. And he was real good. So when we got to Minneapolis, I said, now this is the end of the line. I'm going to Henning. Oh, he says, you might as well go on to Chicago with me. And I said, no, I'm going over to Henning. What do you want to go there for? And I said, I want to see this girl. Well, anyhow, I said, when you get back, we'll meet at the River Inn in Fergus Falls. So it was about 2 or 3 weeks, and Ruby and I, we decided to get married. And Ruby was working at the S&L department store in Fergus. And so when we decided to get married, the folks wanted us to wait another year, but we didn't want to wait. So the night before the wedding, Ruby and I went over to Fergus, and we went to the hotel where Father Morgan was, and we asked him where he was, and they said, well, he's usually over at this little cafe across from the hotel before he comes back at night. So we went over there, and we got a booth, and we said, then finally he came in. Well, I was buying cigars, to Giveaway the next day, and I saw him there, so I went over to him, and he says, "What do you know with those cigars?" And I said, "Well," I said, "I'm getting married tomorrow." He said, "Now, quit joking." He says, "When are we going home?" And I said, "Tomorrow after we get married." So he said, I said, "Now the girl is over here," and I said, "If you'd like to meet her, why, that's fine." I said, "If you don't want her, you can go to hell." And he said, "Well, let's see." So he came over to the booth, and he was just great, you know. And he married us right there. Of course, he said, "You better go through the rigmarole tomorrow." And we sat there till 2 o'clock and visited.
They closed the cafe.
And they closed the cafe, and we had to leave. And then after the wedding was over, and Grandma had a terrific dinner, we picked him up at Fergus, and boy, he said, "This is the first honeymoon I've ever been on," he said. But
we were good friends after that.
we was always good friends. He'd always come to the post office I got off at 4:30. He'd show up about 4:15.
He hated to eat alone.
And he'd come down, he'd always eat supper with us, and we'd play cards.
Didn't make any difference what I had fixed for supper, he didn't care.
I can remember him coming out.
Yeah, you used to call him Fog and Morgan.
Fog and Morgan, and you could talk, or you can start to talk. And so that's about the situation, I think.
I think so. It's the story of our life.
Yeah.
Well, we thoroughly enjoyed it.
I hope
What? Yes. Does the bath feel good? Huh? Dr. Boomer? Oh, no. I love you, Beth.
I'm gonna get wet.
Yes. So precious.
A boomer.
Yeah, where'd the Boomer go? Huh? Where did Boomer go?
Oh no.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Hmm?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Huh? Did we talk to Grandma and Grandpa last night? Did you talk to them on the phone?
I take them off phone.
I know. Do you like to talk on the telephone?
I take off.
Yes. It's fun, huh?
Big.
Oh, you like a bath?
Take them off.
I know it. I love you.
Oh.
Ooh. Is the water warm?
Right. Whoa.
Water's warm. To talk.
She just smiles.
That isn't going to do any good. I love you both.
My sister. We saw a movie the other day. It's Down and Out in Beverly Hills. You ought to see it. There's this little boy. He follows his family around with one of those cameras. Reminds me of you, Mom.
Ready? Okay, what is that? Huh?
The happy cat.
Yes. Where did we go that you got it?
I thought
At McDonald's? Yes. Do you like to go there? Huh?
Sit on the train.
Uh-oh.
What did you do? Sit on the train?
Uh-oh.
What did you do? Sit on the train? Yes. Huh. You had a good time, didn't you? Yeah. What's in your happy pail? Huh?
Open it up.
Open up your happy pail. Did you get your finger caught? Okay. How you doing?
Oh,
Is that?
great.
No.
Apple.
Oh,
Apple. Yes. Is that pretty? Pretty? What else have you got? What else have you got in there? Huh? Huh? I can't hear you. Yeah. What else have you got in your pail? Huh? What's that? Is that another apple?
That's an orange.
Orange. Orange. What else is in there?
God.
Huh? Oh, you got your card? Did Katie give you that card? Auntie Katie?
Out of the camera, huh?
Yeah. What's that? Huh? No, I don't think so.
Great.
Grapes. Grapes. What else is in there? Oh, some more grapes. Mmm. Say, Beth, you got black eye. Where'd you get the black eye? Yeah. What's that? Leaves?
Leaves.
Leaves. Yeah. I love you, Beth.
Right
Love you, Beth.
there. I love you, Grandma.
Yeah.
You don't want a happy birthday. Why? Now you gotta open it. Huh? Now you gotta open it. Open it. There you go. You're welcome.
So Daddy love you and give him hugs and kisses.
Give me a kiss. Give me
You
a kiss.
give Daddy loving and kisses? Tell Daddy love you.
Thank you. Love you.
What was that? You've been playing with Beth too long, Katie.
Thanks, Mom.
I love you.
I'm 16 now and I have a car.
You don't like that or nothing like that.
The Blue Nova.
Elizabeth's telling you.
I also have a boyfriend,
Yeah,
Elizabeth's
what's his
telling you
name?
you're screwed.
Scott,
Yeah.
and he's pretty cute.
You think he's pretty neat? Is he coming back tomorrow?
Yeah, he's supposed to call me.
Yeah, we can't live with you.
Just live with me, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's supposed to call me.
yeah.
We might go to the movies and see a movie.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We might go on a double date with one of his friends.
Oh, okay.
Well, that ought to be fun.
Yeah.
You're learning stuff all the time. Huh? Tell Mom, come here.
Come on, Mom.
Come here, Mom.
Come on. The movie won't wait for the onions. Come on.
Come here, Mom.
Hurry up.
Come here, Mom.
The red light's on. Oh, no.
Go over by Steve and Beth.
I feel,
We'll have a family.
well, we
'Cause I think the backlight is rotten.
Oh, good.
on my butt.
No, I didn't get your butt. I don't like those kind of pictures.
I do.
Where are you, Amy?
I'm right here. Can you tell me to be, Mom?
Oh, I'm up to the electric outlet, so I can't get back too far. Yeah. Only Steve's covering up 3/4 of his face.
Yeah, he does it on purpose, see? That's why he suckered me into this. He's like, come on in.
Hello, Beth. What you doing?
Hi, Grandma.
I love you all. Hi, love.
Love you too.
I know. I love you
Kisses.
too.
Throw kisses.
Throw me a kiss.
Throw kisses.
Oh, I
Lots
got
of
that
kisses.
one.
Throw more.
I love you.
Say love you.
Oh, I love you
Throw
too.
kisses.
Did
Look,
we?
have bunches of kisses.
Oh, thank you. I
Bunches
got
of
that one.
kisses.
I got that one. You turkeys.
Throw daddy kisses.
Why
Give
should
me a
I throw
kiss.
them when I'm that close?
Kiss.
Mm.
Thank you.
You love daddy? Are you
Love
mama's
daddy.
girl or daddy's girl?
That's what you call diplomatic.
Are you Daddy's angel?
Oh.
Mama's angel too.
Do you want a baby brother or baby sister?
She'll take them
Baby
both.
sister, brother.
She'll take them both.
What do you
You
want
do.
more, baby sister, baby brother? A
Baby sister. Okay.
Well, that's on record now, you know.
Yes, you're on.
No, brother be okay too, though. Where's the mama's baby? Where's mama's baby? Is it in her tummy? Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Where'd you get the shiner?
Did you bump?
Dancing, Brady? Say hi, Grandma.
Hello, sugar.
Don't get me. Come here.
Oh, boy.
You can't do that. Angel?
Get back there. I love you.
Love you too.
Wish you feel better.
Love me too. You probably look like a ghost.
We'll see what you look like. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Wait. Are you a rock star? Can you twist?
Oh,
Can you find the car? This car?
you better talk. You're going to be on TV.
Come on. Can you find the baby? Car? Oh, find the baby. Where's the baby? Is that the baby? What's that? And what's that? Apple. Apple. Good girl. And what's that? Are these cars too? Those are apples. Where's the tractor?
Can you find the tractor?
Where's the tractor?
It's under T.
Right there. What is that? Is that a tractor? Is that a jar? Jar? Tractor. You like tractor.
Look under PH.
What's that one? Is that a telephone? Telephone. What's that? Shell. What's that? Table. And what's that? Couch. Yeah. What's that? That's a door. And what's that? And this all belongs to a house. Huh? Maybe. What is that, Ben? What is that? What is it? Tell Mama. Is that cow? What is that? Pigs. What is that? Puppy? Puppy. What's this? Is that grass? And these are what? And what's that? Tractor? Tractor. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, what's this? House. Yeah. Really. And that's what? What is that? Oh, look over here and see what we got over here. What's that? It's a baby doll, huh? Dollhouse. Yeah, there's a dollhouse too. What is this? A bear. And what's that? A swing? Yeah, what's that? Choo-choo train. Yeah. Boy, neat, huh? What's that? And what's that? A truck. What's this? What are those? Flowers? What's that? Is that a tree? A tree, yeah. Let's look over here. Oh, what are those? Neat, huh? A boat? What is that? Water? Water. And who's that? That's Daddy. Yeah.
What's he
Daddy.
doing?
What's Daddy doing? Is he sitting there? Yeah, he's sitting there, huh? Yeah. Boy, who's that? Yeah, the nurse in the picture is Grandma. Yeah. Who's this? What is that?
Look up.
Yeah. What is this?
The bed.
That's a bed. What's this?
The bed.
Now, who is that? That's a doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor. And what's that?
That.
That's an ambulance.
Ambulance.
Yeah, ambulance. Oh, here's the zoo. Now, where are we going to find it? What's that?
The you.
What is that?
You.
No, it's a porcupine. Remember?
Porcupine.
Porcupine? Can you say that again?
Porcupine.
What's that?
Da.
What is that? Is that a kitty cat?
Kita.
Yeah, it's a big one, huh?
Na.
Yeah. What is this? Is that a snake?
The name.
Now, what's this again?
The
Porcupine. Is that a teddy bear?
The teddy bear.
Boy, what is that? A zebra?
Sheba.
What's this?
A bird.
A bird, huh?
A porcupine.
Yeah, a porcupine.
A snake.
A snake. Where's the kitty cat? Where's the kitty cat? Where's the kitty cat? Is that a kitty cat?
Kita.
Yeah.
The kita.
What's this? We're at the park now. What is this?
The pie.
It's a slide. Do you like the slide?
I go pie.
Yeah. And what's that?
Go peanut.
A swing. Yeah, go swinging. Yeah, and what's that? Are those birds in the pond?
Pie.
Yeah.
A baby.
Yeah, the bird's sleeping, isn't it?
A baby.
Yeah, that's pretty, huh?
A baby.
Yeah. Oh, here we are at the bus station and the railway station. What's this?
A choo-choo train.
What?
A choo-choo train.
Now, what's that?
The best.
It's a bus, and what are those? Are those people?
For
People.
people.
Yeah, and who is that? Is that the driver?
A dollar.
Driver. What's that again? What is that? Choo-choo train?
Choo-train.
Do you like choo-choo trains?
Hey, choo-choo train.
You say hi and goodbye to them, huh?
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Choo-choo train.
Yeah, that's what you tell them, huh? Now, here we are in the store.
Bye-bye-bye.
Yeah, what is that?
Bye-bye hat.
Well, that's a hat. What's that?
Bye-bye boat.
Bye-bye, huh? Here's, what is that?
Bye-bye shirt.
No, that's a jacket.
Bye-bye jacket.
Jacket. Pretty. And who's that? Is that a lady?
Hi, Daddy.
Yeah.
Hi, Dad.
There's Daddy, huh?
Hi, Daddy.
Yeah, he's got on a green jogging suit in that picture, huh? Yeah. Here's the circus.
I'm
Ooh.
shooting. Whoa.
Here's a clown.
Come.
There was another one.
Oh,
What is that? A clown?
cow.
And there's a seal.
Marshall.
Yeah. And there's a purple horse.
For hers.
Purple horse and an elephant.
Open.
The dancing dog.
And dog.
Yeah. And the juggler.
A dog.
And what's that again? Is that a clown?
That come.
And what's that? Is that a bear? And what's that? A puppy?
The puppy.
Wow, yeah.
The owie bird.
Yeah, Owie Burn. We're at the fire station and there's a building on fire. It's Owie Burn.
Owie bird.
Hurt you. Yeah.
Herschel.
And these are firemen, aren't they?
What?
Yeah, they fight the fire and put it out so it doesn't hurt you. Oh, and here's the sea. People playing by the beach, huh? And what's that? Is that a boat? And what's that? Is that the sun? And what's that? What's that? Yeah, that's a bird. Bird. And these are what? Are these guys? Are they people? And what are those? Shells? Shells, yeah. Let's turn the page. Just a second here. Let's find this one. Oh, there's the store.
Yeah.
You go with Mama to the store, don't you?
Mama, yeah.
Yeah, what's that? Apple?
Apple.
Apple. And what's that?
Apple.
Is that an egg?
Egg.
A fish?
A fish.
Wow, neat,
I'm
huh?
doing that.
And that's a basket. Cart.
Coat.
Yeah.
Bass.
And here's the pet shop, and what's that?
The puppy.
Puppy. And what's that?
That's it.
Kitty cat?
Tic Tac.
What's your cat's name?
That's it. It's Sammy.
Sammy? Sammy's your kitty cat's name? And what's that? What's that?
A rabbit.
Yeah, and you got a rabbit, don't you? You like your rabbit, huh?
I have a rabbit.
Yeah, and there's some fish
A fish.
and birds.
A bird.
Wow, you want to turn the page, huh? Oh boy, what's that? And we're in the garage now.
Two cats.
Tow truck.
Two cats.
And what's hanging on the wall?
Wow.
Oh, is that tires?
The chair.
What's that?
That.
Gas pump. Yeah? Gas pump. And who's fixing on the car? Who is that?
Daddy.
Daddy. And what's that?
The bike.
It's a bike, a
What's
motorcycle.
Daddy doing in that picture?
Motorcycle.
What's
Yeah.
Daddy doing?
Oh, come on.
He's working on the motor.
Motor.
I'm looking at motor.
Yeah, that's really neat, huh? You like to help Daddy, don't you? Help Daddy?
Help the daddy.
Get all greasy with him? Oh, well, that's it.
Okay.
All done.
This is October 26th, and Beth turned 2 September 2nd, so she's just 2 years old.
Yep, we're reading our favorite book. All about
Bye-bye, Beth. Love you.
Bye-bye. We'll throw kisses.
Can you say hi, Grandma and Grandpa?
Say hi, Grandma and Grandpa.
Hey, Grandma, Grandpa.
Yeah,
you.
say love you.
Love you. Can you say love you much?
Mama.
Sarah, on the
Sure.
camera, dear.
Halloween.
Yes. Have you got a date?
Yes, I've got a date. I'm
Who
going
with?
with Scott.
Yes. And where are you going?
Haunted house.
And who are you?
I'm
What are
Playboy
you?
Bunny. No. No, I'm a punk bunny.
A punk bunny.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means that I'm cross between a punk rocker
Yes.
and a bunny.
Oh.
So I just thought I'd do a little bit of both.
So you're doing okay.
Yeah.
I miss Scott coming after you.
At 8:30.
What time is it now?
6:46.
You're not ready early or anything like that.
No, I wanted to be ready for the trick-or-treaters, and that isn't a lie.
It isn't a lie. You're sure?
No.
We haven't had very many, have we? It was good talking to Grandma and Grandpa.
Yep. They told me not to take drugs and drink.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Well, I wouldn't do it, Mom.
No, you're such an angel.
I am.
Yeah,
My
I know.
halo.
Yes, I know. You excited?
Yep.
Okay.
He's at the ball game now. Band.
Okay.
So and he plays trumpet.
All right.
So I can't wait until I go. I might come home early tonight, but it just depends.
Just depends on how the evening goes.
Yeah, and we might be going double dating
Oh.
with Mickey and Rachel.
Oh.
But I'm not sure. It just depends. how
Just
it goes.
depends on how it goes. It's snowing out there, you know.
Yeah, that's why we haven't got very many trick-or-treaters.
I know. It's Halloween, 1986, right?
Yep,
Okay.
31st.
All right. I will let you go. Okay. How was the game?
Huh?
How was the game?
Don't know, how was it?
The game feels good.
Good.
It was cold.
Cold.
Real cold.
Yeah.
Freezing cold.
Who won?
Don't know yet. It hasn't. Game hasn't ended.
Oh, all right. Katie, are you just going to stand there?
Oh, that's okay.
You could help Scott a little bit.
Well, what do you want me to
Scott,
say?
this is Jerry.
Hi, Scott. Hi, Jerry.
Where are you headed? To the haunted house?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't look like yourself at all, Scott.
Can I say?
That's a cute outfit.
Yeah.
Can we leave now?
I suppose. Him too.
Putting up this bear.
Is it going very smooth?
I don't know.
Remains to be seen. Who are you doing that for?
Who else would give me this hard work?
Who would that be?
Jerry.
Can you look at me and smile? I love you.
Me too.
You're a special kid. What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking that I think this is gonna be a real drag.
You think so? It's complicated? Uh-huh. Well, we'll see if we can get the finished product when you're done, okay?
Yeah, well, there might not be any.
I love you.
Me too. Trick-or-treaters. Whenever they
Oh.